Welcome back to the Ryoko Show. Today I have a special guest, my dear friend, somebody I deeply admire, Maria Mantoudakis. She's an author, award-winning motivational speaker, professional transformational leader, and personal development coach. Maria, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for coming to the Ryoko Show.
Ryoko, thank you so very much for having me on your show today. What a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, I met Maria. I had the privilege to meet Maria in person last November when both of us went to Jack Canfield's advanced training. And there I got to know a little bit more about Maria, and I got so inspired by Maria's story, and especially how Maria all the time used her intuition and how that intuition led Maria to teach success principles. I love that story. Maria, can you please share that story with our audience?
Yes, of course. And Ryoko, I just have to let you know it is also my pleasure. It
Oh,
was
thank
so
you.
amazing getting to meet each other in California.
Yes, I enjoyed so much, especially the last night when we were alone in the hotel waiting for the flight.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Exactly. We got to talk, we got to spend time together.
Yes, that's where you shared more of your stories, where you use intuition to follow your path.
Yes, of course. So, Ryoko, um, every single day when I wake up, I have a communication. I get to talk to the universe.
That's nice.
And of course, I mean, we kind of have practices that we learn from Jack Canfield that we follow. And, some of the practices are actually, having a gratefulness journal, and I do that every morning. We have our affirmations. I do that every morning. I do a meditation. And during my meditations, sometimes I hear things that come out of nowhere. So that particular day, I heard the word library. So I thought that was, and by the way, I have many stories where I hear words.
But I love this story.
So this one is my library
Yeah.
story. And I was like, library, what does it mean? So sometimes what I do, I go back into meditation. Again, I hear the same word again and I ask, what does it mean? But when I was asking, I wasn't getting anything. And of course, with all this stuff that I'm doing with the meditation and the grateful, now I'm late for work, right? so so I get into my car and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get killed at work for showing up late. So I'm standing at the stop sign at the end of my street. I have two choices: to go left to go to work, or right to go to the library. And I'm going, oh, I'm late for work. Oh, I wonder what library means. Oh, but I'm going to get, my boss is going to be, but I wonder what library means. So I make a right turn and I go to the library. And I go inside. And now I'm standing at the library with no idea what I'm doing there. So I'm just standing by the door waiting for my next instruction. So I stood there for a few minutes, and then the librarian behind the desk said to me, can I help you? And I said, oh, I don't know.
Because you had no idea why you were there.
I don't know. So she said, do you have a library card? And I said, yes, I do, but I have no idea where it is. So she said to me, let's get you a library card. She's like, let's, since you're just going to stand there. So I went up to her and she was asking for my name and she was filling out this form online. So she's asking me all these questions. And the last question was, do you have extra time to volunteer at the library? Immediately I said, no, I don't. because at that time I was working full time and I was teaching Dale Carnegie in the evenings. I was like, I'm already too busy, no, I'm so sorry, I can't come and put books away. So she said, oh, okay. So she points to the book that's on the desk, on the front desk of the library. And it was Jack Canfield's Success Principles. And she said to me, this is a great book to take out. We just got it in. And I said to her, oh, I know all about Jack Canfield. I went to a course that he was teaching in New Jersey 2 months ago. And as a matter of fact, he told us that we could teach success principles if we wanted to. So she's like, you could teach this? I said, yes. She said, would you teach this at the library? And I said to her, at that time, Jack had said, because it wasn't an official certification, it was just I attended a class for a day. And he said, you could go ahead and teach this, but you can't charge any money. So I said to her, we just can't charge for this. And she said, what if we charge and all the money goes to the library? It's like, that's fine with me. So she renamed the Success Principles course. It's going to be an 8-week course. She renamed it Recreate Your Life.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So she advertised it there's a channel that shows the events in my town. So she was advertising it, and it was going to start in January. So when I walked into the class, there were lots of people there, but there was specifically a lady and a gentleman. They came in separately, but when they got there, you could tell that they knew each other, and not in a nice way. Because she looked at him and she said, oh, I can't believe you're here. And he said, what are you doing here? And apparently they had seen the advertisement and they both registered for the class without knowing that the other was going to be in the class. And it was a couple that was in the process of getting divorced. Well, they took the class, and again, I was following Jack's slides and direction. And by the end of the class, it looked like they were going to stay together. So that's just one time when I heard a word and I followed it, and it brought me to getting some experience in teaching Jack's Success Principles.
And saving the marriage.
And saving a marriage. And that, Ryoko, I call it being in the flow, which basically means you have things happening. You kind of know they're supposed to happen, and there's a destination, you just don't know what that is. So, and you just keep on going until you get there.
Yes, because you were open to it. You went to the library.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's a nice word. The other word that I heard was the word tsunami. And when you hear that word, you get very scared, because you don't know what does, that can't be good, right? Like, if you hear a word tsunami, it's not, oh, I'm going to go visit. You kind of know something is going to happen.
Yeah.
And I was thinking it was not going to be good. Now, this meditation was taking place at my publisher's retreat. And I'm going to give you her name. Her name is Christine Closer, and her company is called Capuchia. She holds a retreat for authors and potential authors.
Okay.
And during her meditation, I kept hearing tsunami,
Uh-huh.
and I got really upset. And then back into meditation, I said, what does it mean?
Mhm.
And I heard greatness.
Okay.
So uh, I had no idea what to do with this information.
Tsunami and greatness.
So at the end of the meditation, I went up to Christine
Mhm.
and I said something really weird happened to me. During meditation, I kept hearing tsunami and greatness.
Mhm.
And she said to me, oh, don't worry about that. That's the title of your book. Now, at that time, I had no book. I had no idea what I was going to write about.
Uh-huh.
And to be honest, I was attending out of curiosity.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I do a retreat with my authors and potential authors.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you come? And I was like, okay, I'll hang out with authors. Like, that could be fun. And of course, never thinking, um, am I going to be an author? What am I going to write? You know, like, it was like, oh, I'm just going to hang out and see what happens there.
Oh, that's how it started.
So I had the publisher and I had the title. I just didn't have a book or anything I had written. So, do you want to hear how the book came about?
Yes.
So now I have a publisher, I have a title,
And the title, yeah.
and I know I'm supposed to be writing a book.
Yes.
And Christine said, when you have an idea that needs to be in the book,
Mhm.
just take out an index card and write it on index cards.
Mhm.
And I did that for a few months, and I had thousands of index cards. And I was
Wow.
like, what am I going to do with this? Like, I really don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. A lot of ideas as to, oh, I can't forget to write in my book this, and I can't forget to write that. And I kept writing all that on index cards.
Mhm.
Again, no idea how that was going to become a book.
Mhm.
So this one day, Ryoko, I was sitting at Starbucks having my coffee, you know, and I love to people watch, you know, like I take my coffee, sometimes my computer's open and I kind of watch people. Sometimes you could overhear the, you know, young teenagers come in there and you could hear their perspective on life, you know. So I was sitting there and two young men came and sat at the next table. And I'm trying not to listen. I kind of smiled at them. They totally ignored me, which is fine. I'm the lady at the next table, you know. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give them their privacy. But I could hear them talking, and I heard the first voice say, how many did you take? And the other one said, well, not enough. And what came into my mind was, oh my gosh, they're probably shoplifters. Like, what could be associated with taking? Like, you know, how much did you take? And as the conversation continued, I realized that they were talking about committing suicide.
Oh.
So I became very upset, but something was telling me, don't say anything, don't interrupt them, like just let them speak to each other. They came here as friends and they need each other's support. They don't need you to interrupt. So I let them talk, but basically I opened Word in my computer and I started writing what I had to say to them. And if you notice in my book, the very first chapter is called Hitting Bottom. So I started with, you know, how life is a gift.
Yeah.
And it's given to us to experience joy.
Yeah.
And if we're not experiencing joy, it just means something is off. Either we understand, either we don't understand, or there's something off, right? So anyway, so I just kept on writing. And as I was writing, I could feel them. I know that when I went to school, Ryoko, the worst thing that could happen when you were a teenager was to have a fight with your friend, or a teacher doesn't like you, or you're not doing good in a class. Like, there was, but now our teenagers have social media where you can
Yeah. So
destroy
much
each other.
pressure.
They have school shootings.
Yes.
They have worrying about the environment and whether they're going to survive climate change and all these other things that kind of give the messages that things are not okay.
Yeah.
And we forget, even as adults, we forget that things are okay.
Yeah.
Things are okay. So that's how my book came about. The book took 2 years for me next to the boys. But after I sat next to the boys, my book was written in 3 months.
Wow. Wow.
I just kept writing and writing and writing, and I had so many things to say to them. And
Through
that,
your book.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Wow.
Thank you for letting me share.
Wow, Maria, that's so inspirational.
So that's how most of my life kind of goes, where um, one of the things that I think about in meditation is I want to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
So, in order for us to live our purpose, whatever it is, and sometimes by ourselves, we don't know what to do. We don't know, where to be. We don't know what to say. So if you leave it open to the universe,
Yeah.
it kind of brings you there.
Wow. Maria, I find one of the hardest things for some people, including myself, is to have faith over fear. Like Jack says, ask, believe, receive. We need to be clear on what we want, and then we have to believe it's possible. Sometimes believe it's possible is hard because you don't see physically yet. You don't see that whatever you want to manifest is not in front of you, and then you get discouraged. But the thing is, we need to believe so that we can see. Can you talk a little bit more about that? How can you stay on track? How can you follow your inner voice even when the outside noise is trying to distract you?
Right, right, right. Thank you, Rio. So, if you have a gratefulness journal, and I would recommend to the audience, if you can't buy a fancy one, just get a notebook. It could be a cheap notebook. It doesn't have to be fancy. And all you need is paper and a pen. Every day, just write 5 things you're grateful for. So the very first step is to put you in a positive mindset.
Yeah.
So the gratefulness journal kind of puts us in a positive mindset. The fear kind of goes away. If we're grateful, all that fear and garbage in our head kind of goes away. And then we do our affirmations. In our affirmations, we share what is it that we see in our future, right?
Yeah.
What is it that we want? What is it that we want? And let's say, I'm just going to make one up. If I say I'm now happy and grateful that I receive $1 million, and let's say something in my head says, "What are you talking about? You're not going to receive $1 million. What if you woken up in your life and received $1 million? That's never going to happen." You need to answer that. And what a lot of people tell you to do, just ignore the voice and just say it's going to happen. And
Like a forcing.
yeah. But as you know, when you resist anything, you resist persists.
Yes.
So the more you're forcing, the louder the voice gets.
Yeah.
The more I say, "But I am going to get $1 million," it says, "No, you're not. You never did before."
Fighting. Right? Yeah.
So now inside your head, you're like, So what I have found, this is a Maria thing, is to say, "You are so right. up to today,
Mm-hmm.
never woke up and received $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
But beginning today,
Mm-hmm.
that is possible.
Yeah.
And you will find that
Mm-hmm.
the noise in your head stops.
Yeah.
So that's one way
Mm-hmm.
to overcome the noise in our head.
Yeah.
Just say, I understand, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
You have to embrace everything about you,
Mm-hmm.
the part that's pushing and the part that's pulling.
Yeah.
You have to
Exactly.
embrace everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you begin to manifest, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's nice. Maria, but how about this? What would you say to people, but I don't hear my inner voice. I can't hear anything.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
okay. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't hear anything,
Mm-hmm.
what I would say to myself, like when I don't hear anything,
Mm-hmm.
I tell myself, Maria, you're not listening.
I see.
Because I know that I'm
Mhm.
hearing
Mhm.
all the time.
Mhm.
But most of the time, Ryoko, even though I have all these stories to tell when I do listen,
Mhm.
there are times when I cut things off.
Mhm.
And I'm doing my meditation, but um, there are times when I feel like I'm in the flow,
Mhm.
times when I feel like I'm not in the flow.
Mhm.
And I'm meditating in order to get back in the flow. But
Okay.
as you know, anything you want and you have to have it, the more resistance you're going to get.
Yeah.
So, so the answer is to follow the practices, and the practices are gratefulness journal,
Yes.
affirmations, vision, right? And meditation.
Mhm.
And if you just follow your practices
Mhm.
and you stop wanting things,
Mhm.
um, part, and I know that that's opposite to what we just said, right?
Yeah.
But in order to trigger
Mhm.
um, actually attracting things into your life,
Mhm.
you have to love and embrace what you have.
Yeah. What you have now in this moment, right? Yeah.
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. And we sometimes forget that. So in order to relax,
Mhm.
you have to be in a loving state,
Yeah.
meaning everything is good.
Mhm.
I love what I have.
Mhm.
I love my car.
Mhm.
Wouldn't it be great if something new came in? But
Yeah.
if it doesn't, it's okay. If it does,
Mhm.
it's the kind of car I want.
Okay,
But if
from that space, not like I don't like my car. That's why I want a new car. I don't like
exactly,
my, yes, I
I
understand.
hate my life.
Yeah, that's why I want new one. Yeah,
How many people do we hear say, I hate my job?
yeah.
And they quit and they get another job and they're hating their job again.
Same, exactly. It doesn't change because
Right.
the state is not changed, right? So from
Exactly.
what emotional state are you visualizing your vision?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're visualizing and you only see negative.
Mm,
You just have to remember,
yeah.
if you change the way you look at things,
Yes.
the things you look at change.
Yeah, that's
Wayne
so
Dyer,
true.
Wayne Dyer used to say that, right? So
Mm,
when I'm seeing everything is negative,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, Maria, we need to start looking at things differently. And
Yeah.
you absolutely have to know that the universe is working for you.
Yeah, that's
It's,
so true.
it's
Yeah.
not working against you.
Yes. That is so true. I heard someone say that when you are afraid of the future, like you fear for something bad might happen, actually you are using imagination as well, because whatever you fear hasn't happened yet, but you are thinking like, what if I lose my job? Like in my case, what during the pandemic, what if I lose my job? What if I can't find my job soon? Then what happens if I can't pay my mortgage? Like you go, what if, what if? But
Yeah,
also that hasn't happened yet, but I chose to to visualize that more than what if everything works out? What if I find, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's really a choice.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
look at how great is it that
yeah,
every second of the day,
yes,
every second, every minute, we have the opportunity to change
exactly.
whatever is not going the way we want in our life.
Yes, because we always have a choice. That's what I learned. When I learned that, I felt light. I said, oh, then I can, start to see possibilities, because before I was just
Absolutely.
so stuck and like I am so stuck, I can't hear my voice. But when I heard that you need to believe before you see it, and when Jack says you need to believe it's possible, that opened up my like resistance toward, no, it's not happening, or I don't even know what I want.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about believing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Try that. Yes, that was true yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Today is a new day, and it's possible today.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I
then
like
your
that.
brain stops. Yeah, then your brain stops fighting you.
I like that. Yeah. Acknowledge that, yes, up
Yeah,
until today, that was true. Yeah, that I like it. So that two voices don't fight.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ryoko, could I
Yeah.
tell you something that I discovered too?
Yes. Yes, of course.
So when I was writing Tsunami to Greatness,
Mhm.
I thought that I was writing another book about law of attraction.
Mhm.
So I was writing and writing and writing, and when I was getting towards the end, I kept thinking, this is not it.
Mhm.
It's not it. I'm missing something.
Uh-huh.
So then I started thinking, I know what. Law of attraction is
Mhm.
only one law.
Mhm.
There's 12 universal laws.
Mhm.
So I'm going to start putting in the book all of the laws.
Mhm.
And why is the law of attraction so much greater than the rest of the laws? Like there's
Mhm.
a law of vibration, a law of relationship, a law, there's like all these laws.
Mhm.
Why are we all like stuck on this one, right?
Yeah.
So I added a chapter that's called Universal Laws, and I'm explaining all the laws. And I get to the end of the chapter and I'm going, this is not either. I'm
Oh.
missing something. I am missing something.
Mhm.
And that's when it came to me that it's a two-way street.
Mhm.
It's what is it that we want,
Mhm.
and we put it out there.
Yes.
But it's also what does the universe want from us,
Yeah.
right?
That's so deep. Yeah.
So so you put out there what you want,
Mhm.
but I always ask, put me where I'm supposed to be because by myself I have no idea and I'm gonna mess this up, right?
Yeah.
So every time I do that,
Mhm.
that's when I sit in a room and I say, "Oh, why don't we have a summit?" Right?
Yes.
But um, it's okay. So what do I want? And universe, where do you want me? What do you want me to be doing?
Wow. I remember that when you that day when you mentioned, and then I was like, I want to be part of that. But I didn't know that you had no idea.
Everybody was like, I'm gonna be a
Yes, yes,
speaker.
we want to be part of it. Yeah.
And everybody was like, but I have no idea what I'm gonna speak about. And I'm like, and I kept saying, don't worry about it.
Mhm.
Saying, if you don't know what you're gonna speak about, like, don't worry about it.
Mhm.
Remember, and it was like, I just knew that it was all gonna come together.
Wow. You know what, Maria? Can I say something? I hear this sound. I feel like that's like acknowledgement that you're saying the right thing. Did you notice? So if
It's
you
my
guys listening,
computer.
this sounds, I take it as the acknowledgement that Maria, what you're saying is spot on.
Thank you so much. Because if I turn the volume off on my computer, I won't be able to hear you. So I have
Exactly.
no idea how to turn these things.
That's okay. That's okay. I love this. Like we are not trying to be perfect, and I am showing that whatever happens, it's okay. You know. But I love it because every time you say something, this sound came in the right time, and I was having fun myself.
And I was thinking Ryoko is going to be doing a lot of editing. I have no idea what.
So this sound, I'm gonna keep it. But Maria, that summit, what a success! What a success! We were so grateful for your effort, your team. It was really amazing.
Thank
Really,
you. I'm
really
so
amazing.
grateful for you all. I couldn't believe, if I exclude myself, we had 18 people,
Yeah,
18 speakers, which is incredible,
yeah.
incredible. And I am sure that the people that were supposed to be hearing your messages were there.
Thank
Were there or listening to the recordings, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Ryoko, I'm going to give you the instructions
Yes,
so that if anyone wants to listen to your speech or to other speakers' speeches,
yes.
you're able to do
Please.
that for free. So I will give you the unlock code. So if anyone is interested, more than welcome to listen to the summit.
Oh, that's so generous. Thank you so much. Thank you. Maria, before we wrap up, is there anything that you would like to add and how people can connect with you?
Yeah. So the only thing I want to add is especially if you're in a place where you're experiencing trauma,
Mm,
if you're experiencing things that you don't want to be experiencing in your life,
mm,
you know, one day at a time. And like I said, when you follow a practice, and
mhm,
you know, when you hit bottom, the last thing you want to hear is somebody telling you to follow a practice.
mhm,
So the practice that I tell people if you have hit bottom
mm,
is, I don't want to tell you to smile.
mm.
I know that that's hard to do.
It is hard.
So I tell people, stick a pen or a pencil in your mouth, it'll force a smile. So if you put, and I don't have one in front of me, otherwise I would do it. But the minute you put a pen or pencil in your mouth, it forces your lips to smile.
That's true.
And that's the beginning of recovery, of
Yeah,
healing, right?
yeah.
And the other thing that I want everybody to know is that um, everything that you're experiencing
Mhm,
are your thoughts,
mhm,
which are separate from you.
mhm,
So you are not your thoughts.
mhm.
So, yeah, I just want everybody in the world to be happy, to love themselves, and to love each
Yes.
other. And then we would change the world, Ryoko. If
Yeah.
everyone loved themselves and loved each other, it would be a different world.
Yeah, that's for
Um,
sure. Yeah. Wow, what a beautiful message. I totally agree, Maria. It's very difficult to tell for people who are hitting the rock bottom and then we tell them, like cheer up, smile. I've been there. I can. If I can smile, I would do it because I can. That's why I am struggling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have in my book several exercises
Mm,
as to how, which is not, a lot,
yeah.
you know, such as take all your thoughts, all your
Mhm.
negative thoughts, now that you have the pencil that you had in your mouth,
Yeah.
take all your thoughts and all the bad things you've been thinking,
Mhm.
put them in your pencil,
Yeah.
and then drop the pencil.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Then drop it. Oh, nice. I thought you were gonna say write it down, but that's even better.
then you feel such a release.
Yeah, like leaving your body. Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Wow.
and like I said, those are just some of the exercises that I have listed in my book in order to overcome.
Wow.
Big box.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's how you get from tsunami to greatness.
Yes,
That's so beautiful. And Maria's website is recreatesuccessnow.com. Maria,
exactly.
I'm going to put your website on show notes so people can connect with you, visit your beautiful website. Maria, oh, such a wonderful coach, such a wonderful person.
You know, I feel the
Yeah,
same way about you. I feel the same way about you.
thank you so
And
much.
thank you so, so much for having me, Ryoko. You're absolutely amazing.
Oh,
Amazing. I know that the universe is on my side because it's people like you in my life.
oh, Maria, it's the same for us. All the trainers, people who learn from Jack, we admire you so much and such a generous person, Maria.
Thank you so, so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you. It was so fun to talk with you, and then I learned so much from this conversation. And I hope that people start to trust their intuition once they get out of that rock bottom difficult situation, and grab the book, Maria's book, Tsunami
Oh,
to Greatness. Yeah, what a wonderful book. And I really hope that you continue with this work. You touch as many people as possible. People will be inspired by you. You are, because you are the example of what's possible for
oh,
us, you know?
thank you so, so much, Ryoko.
Thank you.
And thank you for giving everyone and yourself this platform.
Thank you.
And I hope all the people that need to hear these messages show up for you because you're absolutely incredible and amazing.
Oh, thank you so much, Maria. Thank you. I really, really appreciate your time and this beautiful friendship. Thank you so much. I'll
So
talk to you
much,
soon.
Ryoko.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So if you like this episode, please subscribe, rate and review. And like I said, I'm going to put Maria's website on show note, and I have a free guide to help you transform your life. So tune back in next Thursday. Thank you so much and keep shining.